Clemson tested positive. Texas tested positive. Kansas State tested positive. Oklahoma State tested positive. Matter of fact, nearly everybody tested positive among the college football programs that you care about that decided to return their players to campus this June for 8 hours a week of instruction and involuntary strength conditioning. Stupid. Now, it's only stupid in that the optics for this are all wrong. And you did this for what upside? What exactly? Because in the case of Texas, which is double digits of players that have tested positive, they couldn't even return until June 15th. So we're not even a week into this, and you've already had to put kids into quarantine. Meanwhile, LSU had 30 test positive. 30! Because apparently everybody went to either the nightclub or some other off-campus activity, and they picked up the COVID. Okay? Kansas State has shut down involuntary workouts totally after they had a bunch of players test positive. Houston, at Dana Holgorsen, so stupid-like, and I'm not even going to test anybody until they show symptoms. And then it ends up with 6 symptomatic positive test cases. Clemson, you got 23 football players and 2 staff members who tested positive. 28 total among the student athletes and staff this June. Okay? 23. That's more than a quarter of your scholarship football players and more than a fifth of your entire football team. To which we've had a range of reaction here. One of those, right, is that we're not going to get football because kids keep testing positive and there's no way for us to contain this without actually making everybody go back into quarantine in a meaningful way. Because we're seeing a spike in cases. We're seeing the states that have reopened early and the states that have gone into their separate phases of reopening have seen the most cases. Shocker. And then we have had mass gatherings, right? Either in protest, Black Lives Matter, or political rally, like the one in Tulsa at the BOK Center this past Saturday. And we're even having some fans attend some sporting events. And we have the NBA as an entity is questioning whether or not they can even reopen in July because of the rise in cases. And we've had at least one NBA player decide that he ain't going to go to Orlando. Now, this is a Washington Wizard, and it ain't as if anybody expects the Washington Wizards to make it to the playoffs. But it's significant in that it's one dude that's like, yo, it ain't worth it for me to go there, so I'm not going to go there because I don't feel safe. And I get behind that. The other part about this that I find interesting is what the players decide to do is ultimately going to be what this comes down to. Because let's believe coaches when they say the safety and well-being of their players is of the utmost importance to them. Or let's say we believe most coaches because Mike Gundy wanted to get money running through this state. Meanwhile, Lincoln Riley said it would be ridiculous for him to bring kids back before July. And while Oklahoma has had 1 or 2 kids test positive, not at campus because they ain't bring them back to campus. And they're going into quarantine when they do get back to campus. Right? I talked with one true freshman, Jalen Conyers, and you'll hear from him later this week, when he told me, look, I don't even care about the virus. I just want to go. I want to go to Norman. I want to play football. And that has been the sentiment of most players. But the seniors, the juniors and seniors who have got a little bit more sway and have played college football are also going, yo, I want something in writing that says that the university is going to take care of us. In the same way that the universities have asked for kids to sign pledges saying, hey, I'm responsible for my own well-being, which is bogus and BS because they're kids. In many cases, they're 18 and 17. In other cases, they're 23 tops. Unless you go to BYU, and then that's a whole other can of worms. But I don't mind the kids wanting some assurances here, and I think that they should in this moment of player empowerment, where we are seeing players finally figure it out. hey, there is no game if I don't play. There is no game if I don't choose to just go a right way and do this. To which we have stupid people that will say things like, yo, Chuba Hubbard needs to leave. If you don't like it, you can leave. We did that once before. It's called separate but equal. That's not how you cure this. Why? Why is that the go-to? Why is the go-to get the problem kids up out of here? They didn't break any laws. They want to feel safe. They want to feel included, just like you. There's nothing wrong with that. That's healthy. And only the weak and narrow-minded would want to root out diversity and thought, because critical thinking does not come your way. Anybody who is really about change, and anybody who's actually really about making money when it comes down to it, wants to listen to your ideas and wants to create a more inclusive and diverse group, because everybody gets better. I'm telling you these stories about Earl Campbell and desegregation because it's a wildly popular example of athletic prowess, but not one that you get to see if he was not included. If white folks and black folks weren't made to go to school together. The programs exist because we cannot trust people to do these things. Because when we have implicit bias to note, people will choose people that look like them unless they actually confront that out in front of them. This is why this stuff matters. It's why Dabo Swinney choosing to go to the Black Lives Matter protest matters. It's why I want more than a friggin' apology from Mike Gundy. I want to see Mike Gundy be better. Be better. That's all. Be better. In relation to the COVID kids, look, they want to play. If you can assure them that they're going to be safe and they're going to actually flex to be safe, cool. Because I think that's what it's going to be. You're going to see kids that say, hey, look, I understand how dangerous this is. I also understand I'm putting myself at risk. I also want to be as safe as I possibly can while putting myself at risk. I'll give you a really stark example here. If you want to be an astronaut and you want to go to space, the thing not to do is to strap yourself to an Acme rocket and light it like you're Wile E. Coyote. No, there is a tremendous amount of training. There is a tremendous amount of safety protocols that you are put through and then put through again and then put through again. There is rigorous training. There is so much to learn. And then maybe when the weather's just right, we put you in a state-of-the-art shuttle that is designed to launch you into space. We're asking for the kids to have the opportunity to be wholly trained and the people around them to be wholly trained and for the safety protocols to be what they must before we put them in a shuttle and launch them into space. Why is that difficult to understand? Why is that a thing that people resist? You don't prove anything by being macho and saying you're going to go fight a virus. It don't care. It's a virus. It's a simplistic organism. It is out here trying to kill people. If it ain't killed you, don't crow. Don't bare your chest. Consider yourself, hey, lucky. Cool. It ain't get to you the way that it can get to hundreds of thousands of people and has. Can't believe I have to keep saying, yeah, I want to play football and I love football. Can't believe I have to keep saying that. But you know what else we decided to change? Wearing helmets, face masks. We had the President of the United States come out and say, hey, football's got to get some safety protocols because y'all dying out there and we can't have it. Teddy Roosevelt did that. That's the most macho president who ever lived. The dude has a speech called The Man in His Arena. The man's actually fighting water buffalo with his bare fist, and yet he had to actually use the presidency to get football, particularly college football, to be more safe. And I feel like that's where we are. We're going to need Ed Orgeron to take his shirt off and not challenge his kids, but to challenge all of y'all being like, anybody want to get some, or wear a mask, or go through these safety protocols. That's what it's going to take. Because apparently we're going to listen to Nick Saban. We're going to listen to Ed Orgeron. We're going to, I hope, listen to Lincoln Riley. I thought that we could get this right. And instead we have kids that are testing positive, and then where do they go? Isolation, quarantine. Yeah, that's going to be good for their mental health. Was it good for ours? We were going berserk with 2.5 months of this. And we're saying, nah, kid, you'll be good. Just stay in there for 14 days. Nah, man. It's hard to be locked in a room, locked in your house for any length of time, and y'all can all speak to that, and yet you're so willing to put the kids back in there. Little less selfishness, a little more community.